rise, and Councillor wants the case to say the prayer. That's it.
Let's pray. Our Heavenly Father, thank you for the many blessings we enjoy in the city of Kenora. We recognize that we are on Treaty 3 lands and are thankful to the partnerships with our First Nations communities. Give us wisdom in our minds, clearness in our thinking, truth in our speaking, and always love in our hearts, so that we may always to unite the citizens of Kenora. Be with us today and guide us in our decision making. Amen.
Thank you. Okay, public information notices. As required under bylaw 144/2007, the public is advised of council's intention to adopt the following at today's meeting. Council will adopt new cemetery rates and fees for Lake of the Woods Cemetery. Council will approve an appropriation from tax write-off reserves in the amount of $203,657.89 excuse me, to offset the cumulative reduction in municipal tax revenue as a result of these minutes of settlement, with any potential shortfall to be taken from the city's contingency reserve. Declaration of pecuniary interest. Anyone? Councillor McMillan.
Your Worship, I have on resolutions 4 and resolution 23. 4 is financial statements and 23 City of Kenora meeting minutes. They reference the Kenora Police Board, and my spouse is a member of the Police Services Board and receives remuneration. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, resolution number 1.
I believe I have it. Worship, moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Roussin, that the following minutes of the Council of the City of Kenora be adopted as circulated. Regular Council, January 17th, 2017.
All in favor, Council? Opposed, if any? Motion's carried. Okay, no deputations today?
We got 3 of them right there.
Yeah, getting them all on the committee of the whole. We had long ones there. Okay, additions to the agenda, anybody? No? Okay, resolution, excuse me, resolution number 2.
Resolution number 2, moved by myself, second by Councillor Rosen, that council hereby accepts the new corporate communications plan and communication strategy for the city of Kenora, and further that council gives 3 readings to a bylaw to amend the comprehensive city policy manual to adopt a new communications policy number LS-10-1 and a new social media policy number LS-10-2.
All in favor, Council? Opposed, any? Motion's carried. Resolution number 3.
Worship, myself, seconded by Councillor McMillan, the council approves 1 additional summer student for 2017 summer employment as a bylaw enforcement officer to assist in enforcement, and further the 2017 operating budget reflect this additional student.
All in favor, Council? Opposed, any? Motion is carried. Resolution number 4.
Resolution number 4, Your Worship, moved by myself and seconded by Councillor Goss. The council hereby accepts the monthly financial statements of the corporation of the city of Kenora at December 31st, 2016.
All in favor, Council? Opposed, any? Motion is carried. Resolution number 5.
Resolution number 5, Your Worship, moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Smith. Excuse me. Whereas the Harbour Safety Committee provided Council with an update report in March 2016, providing Council with a number of recommendations and for implementation as a result of the work done by that committee. And whereas the City has implemented the recommendations of the Harbour Advisory Committee as previously approved by Council. And whereas the City will continue in its ongoing communication efforts focused on ensuring the safety of the waterways within the City. Now therefore let it be resolved that the Council hereby disbands the Harbour Advisory Committee, and further that Council hereby thanks the Harbour Safety Committee members non-voting participants for their contribution and work on this committee to help ensure the safety of the waterways within the city. And further, that bylaw 157-2014 be hereby repealed.
All in favor, council? Opposed, if any? Motion is carried. Resolution number 6.
Your worship, moved by myself, seconded by Councilor Roussin, the council of the city of Kenora hereby authorizes the issuance of tax receipts for any donation of $75 or greater made to the city of Kenora on behalf of the Kenora Baseball League, KBL, until December 31st, 2017, to be used specifically towards the improvements to the Jeffrey Mellett ball fields.
All in favor, council? Opposed, if any? Motion's carried. Resolution number 7.
Resolution number 7, moved by myself, seconded by Councilor Rosen, that council hereby authorize the CEO to sign the minutes of settlement for assessments made under Section 40 of the Assessment Act for the years 2009 through 2016 between Canadian Tire Real Estate LI, Municipal Property Assessment Corporation, and the City of Kenora, and that the council hereby approves an appropriation from the tax write-off reserve in the amount of $203,657,089 to offset the cumulative reduction in municipal tax revenues as a result of these minutes of settlement, with any potential shortfall to be taken from the city's contingency reserve, and that in accordance with notice bylaw number 144-2007, be public notice is given that council intends to amend the 2016 operating and capital budget at its February 21st, 2017 meeting to withdraw funds from the tax write-off and contingency reserves, and further, that council gives 3 readings to a bylaw to amend the 2016 budget for this purpose.
All in favor, council? Opposed, if any? Motion is carried. Resolution number 8.
Worship, moved by myself, seconded by Councilor McMillan, the council hereby approves the write-off of accounts totaling $46,547.40 in 2013 and $34.81, $34,841.45 in 2014, including applicable taxes, and further that the city staff be directed to continue collection efforts on these costs.
All in favor, council? Opposed, if any? Motion is carried. Resolution number 9.
Resolution number 9, your worship, moved by myself and seconded by Councilor Goss, that council hereby approves a contribution of $500 towards the costs associated with the official signing ceremony for the All Nations Healthcare Service Delivery ceremonial signing held on February 16th, 2017, which will come from council's 2017 donations budget, and further that this significant event clearly furthers the partnership in pursuing an all-nations healthcare delivery system is in partnership with the City of Kenora, Municipality of Sioux Narrows, Nestor Falls, Grand County Treaty Number 3, and the Métis Nation.
Councilor Dillon.
Just a comment, your worship, it was, and thanks to council for the contribution, and Councilor Goss had the opportunity to attend as well. It was a wonderful experience with the Grand Chief and First Nation chiefs and the municipalities and partners signing what I deem to be a very historic agreement. And once it's all completed, a copy will be shared with council, but again, appreciation and history was made.
Yeah, I think the roundhouse was so significant in the signing of that, and yeah, definitely a historic moment about it. It's really nice to be part of it. All in favor, council? Opposed, if any? Motion is carried. Resolution number 10.
Resolution number 10, your worship, moved by myself, seconded by Councilor Smith, that item number 9 from the January 17, 2017 council meeting to defer the street name change from McQuillan Street to Kennedy's name be hereby withdrawn, and further the council support the placement of a commemorative plaque in the Kenora Recreation Center to honor Mr. Len Kropyowski and his passion for hockey and recreation.
All in favor, council? Opposed, if any? Motion is carried. Resolution number 11.
Your worship, moved by myself, seconded by Councilor Roussin, the council authorizes an amendment to the City of Kenora Traffic Regulation Bylaw number 180-2015 to remove the identified 60 kilometers per hour zone for the entire length of the James Road northwesterly from Highway 658 Reddit Road from Schedule T rate of speed, and further that 3 readings be given to an amending bylaw for this purpose.
All in favor, council? Opposed, if any? Motion's carried. Resolution number 12.
Resolution number 12, moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Rosen, that council hereby accepts 2017 State of Housing Report as a needs assessment for housing in Kenora, and further, that council hereby directs staff to proceed with the housing action plan to support the housing market through the use of policy tools available to municipalities.
All in favor, council? Opposed, if any? Motion's carried. Resolution number 13.
Your worship, moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Smith. The council denies an application for a variance to the sign bylaw 115-2010 seeking approval to advertise on an existing billboard sign located on municipal property on Highway 17 East.
All east. All in favor, council? Opposed, if any? Motion's carried. Resolution number 14.
Resolution number 14, your worship, moved by myself and seconded by Councillor Goss. That council gives 3 readings to a new comprehensive schedule of rates to be used in connection with the Lake of the Woods Cemetery, and further that bylaw number 34-2009 be hereby repealed, and further that in accordance with notice bylaw number 144-2007, public notice is hereby given that council intends to give 3 readings to a cemetery rate increase at its February 21st, 2017 meeting, and further that this bylaw shall come into force and be in effect upon approval of the Bereavement Authority of Ontario.
All in favor, council? Opposed, if any? Motion's carried. Resolution number 15.
Resolution number 15, your worship, moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Smith, that council of the city of Kenora receives the recommendation from the Parks and Facilities Division Lead approving the grant amount of $8,000 each to Ride Out, Central, and Evergreen Community Clubs.
All in favor, council? Opposed, if any? Councillor Smith?
No, I'm good.
All in favor? Opposed, if any? Motion's carried. You remembered the rest of the conversation now, didn't you?
Yeah.
Resolution number 16.
Your worship, moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Rosen, that council hereby approves an application to Canada Cultural Spaces Fund for the renovation of the museum annex and the construction of an addition to the museum annex as an art gallery to house the W.J. Phillips collection, and the council hereby supports the establishment of a capital campaign by the Lake of the Woods Museum to raise funds for the art gallery building project, and further, the council hereby recommends to the incoming council of 2018 to commit to the ongoing annual provision of operating dollars for the art gallery and a percentage amount commensurate with the current funding to the Lake of the Woods Museum in the amount of 60% of total operating costs based on the projected total annual operating budget for the new art gallery of $236,755. And your worship, if I could just read the media release for this.
Please.
Today, Kenora City Council approved a request by the Lake of the Woods Museum Board to expand its cultural offerings to include an art gallery. The approval allows the museum to move forward with applications for capital funding, grants, and the establishment of a capital campaign to raise funds for the construction of an art gallery addition to the former museum building in Memorial Park. Prior to being the first location for the museum, it was the land titles building. Gallery project was prompted by the generous offer of 2 longtime lake residents who have been collecting the Lake of the Woods woodcut prints and watercolors of Canadian artist Walter J. Phillips for the past 20 years. Because of their connection to and love of the Lake of the Woods and Kenora, they wish to gift their collection, which currently numbers around 70 pieces, to the city of Kenora through the Lake of the Woods Museum. W.J. Phillips was a master watercolorist and a pioneer of the color woodblock in Canada. Among his best known and loved images are those that depict family holidays on Lake of the Woods from the 1910s until the late 1920s. Phillips' work can be found in the National Gallery of Canada, the Winnipeg Art Gallery, the Smithsonian, the Vancouver Art Gallery, and the Pavilion Gallery in Winnipeg. Museum Board Chair Rita Boutet states that this exciting project also addresses an identified need in the community. Quote, Kenora has a vibrant arts community, but what is lacking is a designated and appropriate space to display art in its many forms. The museum has fulfilled that function for many years, as have other public buildings and private spaces. But ultimately, there is a need for a public art gallery of significance that will further foster the arts in Kenora through creation, exhibition, and appreciation. It would be one of only 2 public galleries between Sault Ste. Marie and Winnipeg, end of quote. The project includes the use of the former museum for studio, programming, and administrative functions with a purpose-built addition for gallery storage in public space. The proposed 5,100 square foot addition would include 2 galleries so that the Phillips exhibit would be exhibited concurrently with local, regional, and national art exhibits. The endorsement of the Lake of the Woods arts community and the Economic Development Commission for a dynamic art space speaks to its value as a cultural asset and also its role in community sustainability. A gallery's contribution to the cultural vibrancy of Kenora makes the community a better place to live, work, visit, and do business. The Lake of the Woods Museum will be hosting an exhibit of a selection of the Phillips collection from May 3rd to 27th, 2017. Thank you.
All in favor, council?
Join.
Opposed, if any? Motion's carried.
Okay.
Resolution number 17.
Resolution number 17, moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Rosen, that council hereby supports the Push for Change fundraising event by waiving the Discovery Centre rental charge in the amount of $197.75 for the luncheon event being held at the Discovery Centre in conclusion of the events in Kenora.
All in favor, council? Opposed, if any? Motion's carried, and actually really looking forward to this meeting, the gentleman. Not about him. Motion's carried. Resolution number 18.
Worship, moved by myself, seconded by Councilor McMillan, the council of the city of Kenora hereby supports the Coney Island Music Festival's request to name the city of Kenora as a sponsor in their application for funds through the Kenora and Lake of the Woods Regional Community Foundation for support of the 2017 festival.
All in favor, council? Opposed, if any? Motion's carried. Resolution number 19.
Resolution number 19, your worship, moved by myself and seconded by Councillor Goss, that following a public meeting to hear submissions and public comments in regard to the application for zoning bylaw amendment D14-17-01 for property described as civic access address 7044 Coco Road, and further that council accepts the recommendation of the Kenora Planning Advisory Committee, and further that council in lieu of public comments gives 3 readings to a bylaw to authorize approval of the amendment to change the zoning from rural to Black Sturgeon Lake Restricted Development Zone, and exception to section 3.13.5 to allow for a lot frontage to depth ratio of 1.7.
All in favor of council? Opposed, if any? Motion is carried. Resolution number 20.
Resolution number 20, your worship, moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Smith. Whereas the city is supportive of the development of community garden spaces as outlined in sections 1.3.1 and 3.23 of the official city plan, and also states that it will help by identifying sites including city parks. And whereas council supports community partnerships to pursue projects for the betterment of our citizens and visitors, and whereas a community garden promotes locally grown fruits and vegetables, making healthy food choices more readily available to those in need in our community, creating a healthy food security location. And whereas a community partnership with the Kenora Association for Community Living and Seeds for Change Kenora has presented an opportunity for a forest garden project located at the corner of 8th Avenue South and 5th Street South, locally known as the Enchanted Forest property. Therefore, be it resolved that the Council of the City of Kenora supports the use of this municipal property for the development of forest garden project and deems it a suitable location for the proposed forest garden. And further, that Council supports the Community Living and Seeds for Change Kenora in pursuing funding applications or opportunities to move this project through various funding applications and grant opportunities.
All in favor of council? Opposed, if any, motion is carried. And that was a great presentation also. Resolution number 21.
Your worship, moved by myself, seconded by Councilor Roussin. The council gives 3 readings to a bylaw to execute an agreement between the corporation of the City of Kenora and Employment and Social Development Canada for the provision of creating an accessible link between the existing Rabbit Lake Rotary Way Trail and Birchwood Crescent, and further, in addition to this connector piece of trail, an accessible decking pathway will connect the paved trail to the water, making Garrow Beach fully accessible, and further, that the CAO be authorized to execute this agreement.
All in favor, council? Opposed, if any, motion is carried. Resolution number 22.
Resolution number 22, moved by myself, seconded by Councilor Rosen, that Council of the City of Kenora gives 3 readings to a bylaw authorizing an agreement between the Corporation of the City of Kenora and the Kenora Professional Firefighter Association Local 943 for the term January 1st, 2014 to December 31st, 2016, that the mayor and clerk be authorized to execute this agreement.
All in favor, council? Opposed, if any, motion is carried. Resolution number 23.
23?
Yeah.
Worship, moved by myself, seconded by Councilor McMillan. The council hereby adopts the following minutes from various City of Kenora committees. November 23rd, Kenora Public Library Board, January the 5th, 2017. Environmental Advisory Committee, January 26th, Lake of the Woods Museum Board. And the council hereby receives the following minutes from other various committees. November the 2nd, Kenora Police Service Board, November 23rd, Northwestern Health Unit Board of Health. November the 29th, District of Kenora Home for the Aged Board of Management. December the 8th, Kenora District Service Board. And further, that these minutes be circulated in ordered file.
Councilman Mill.
Your worship, I apologize, I declared a pecuniary interest on that resolution. Could I please cross off my name as a seconder and initial it, and
Too late now.
a seconder could come forward? My apologies for not recognizing that.
Do they don't haul them off to jail right now?
Yes.
Thanks, Louis. You have a second?
Nothing wrong with being overcautious, right, Councilor?
No.
Are you asking me to support you not going to jail or?
Okay, as now moved by Councilor Wasicase, yeah, there, the second. All in favor? Opposed? Carried.
Thank you.
Resolution number 24.
Resolution number 24, your worship, moved by myself and seconded by Councilor Goss, that Council of the City of Kenora hereby accept the December 2016 Kenora Water and Wastewater Systems Monthly Summary Report and as prepared by City Administration.
All in favor, council? Opposed, if any? Motion is carried. Resolution number 25.
Resolution number 25, your worship, moved by myself, seconded by Councilor Smith. That the City of Kenora accept the bid price submitted by Chris Pote's Finishing Touch in the amount of $144,900 plus applicable taxes, and further that the City of Kenora approve Chris Pote's Finishing Touch to proceed with the Kuwait Memorial Arena facility lighting and astrofoil ceiling project.
All in favor, council? Opposed, if any? Motion is carried. Resolution number 26.
Your worship, moved by myself, seconded by Councilor Roussin, that the following bylaws be now read a first and second time and approved in their present form and presented for third and final reading. Number 17-2017, confirmatory. Number 18-2017, communications policy number LS-10-1. Number 19-2017, social media policy number LS-10-2. Number 20-2017, repeal Harbor Safety Committee terms of reference bylaw number 157-2014. Number 21-2017, 2016 budget amendment, Canadian Tire minutes of settlement. Number 22-2017, traffic amendment, James Road rate of speed. Number 23-2017, schedule of rates and fees for Lake of the Woods Cemetery. Number 24-2017, zoning bylaw amendment, D 14-17-01-7044 Coker Road. Number 25-2017, enabling accessibility grant. agreement execution, number 26-2017, Kenora Professional Firefighters Association Collective Agreement.
All in favor, council? Opposed, finished. Motion is carried. Okay, notice of motion, non-proclamation. Oh, wait, no, oh, I'm sorry.
I, Councillor Mort Gosto, hereby give notice of motion in keeping with section 7.12 of Council's procedural bylaw number 173-2015, and will at the next regular meeting of this council to be held on Tuesday, March 21st, 2017, bring forward the following motion. Whereas on May 29th, 2008, a joint proclamation on the renewed treaty-based relationships was signed by then Grand Chief of Treaty Number 3, Diane Kelly, and former Mayor Len Compton. And whereas we are people living under the treaty signed on October 3rd, 1873 with distinct cultures and language and who coexist within a shared land and territory. Whereas we are people who accept and respect our distinct differences and share in the celebration of the beauty of those differences. And whereas we are people who continue to rediscover the true spirit and intent of the Treaty of October 3rd, 1873. Whereas we continue to rebuild our relationships with one another through the restoration of our political, economic, and cultural partnerships. Whereas we continue to work together in securing a brighter future for our youth and future generations through education and economic development. Therefore, be it resolved that the City of Kenora consult with Grand Council Treaty Number 3 requesting that the flag of Grand Council Treaty Number 3 fly beside the City of Kenora flag, and that a ceremony be conducted addressing the rebuilding of the relationship.
Thank you. And then we'll have more discussion with that. I was thinking Canada Day being the 150th anniversary. I was gonna talk to the Grand Chief about that. Might be a great opportunity during the ceremonies. Okay, proclamation. By virtue of authority vested in me, I hereby proclaim March 2017 as Red Cross Month in and for the City of Kenora. Request its observance as such by our citizens. Declared at the City of Kenora the 21st day of February 2017. Okay, announcements. We'll start with Councillor Roos and go around the room. Councillor Vasquez. Councillor McMillan.
I do. I just wanted to make some comments about the weekend, but I know it's unfortunate Councillor Raynard was unable to be at today's meeting, so I know he would have a lot of positive comments. But although the nucleus of this past extended weekend was to honor Hockey Day in Canada and what the game means for Kenora locally and nationally, the committee did a tremendous job in engaging the community, and this was evidenced in the attendance at the event and the promotion by the business sector with all the posters in the windows. The community embraced it, and the pride in the community was evident. It was an opportunity for the community to experience a number of events, whether at the rec center or in the outdoors. To the committee, Dan is chair, and members, one of which is Heather Kasprick, that I think handled all the communications and did a tremendous job. You did the community proud. We were featured on national TV, and I have absolutely no doubt that national TV extended internationally as well. I know personally we had friends down in Eastern Ontario that put their PVR on, I think it was Thursday morning, and didn't shut it off until Saturday night because they felt the importance. So to the committee on this one, you definitely scored the winning goal, and personally I thank you, as I'm sure a number of other people will, for a great event and for engaging and bringing the community together. The positive chatter will continue well into the future, and I'm hopeful we can build on that through our tourism and marketing. And I noticed throughout the weekend there was many smiles of pride and a few tears of joy and pride as well as the events unfolded. So to the committee, to city staff, and to volunteers, a tremendous job, and thank you.
Thank you, Councillor. No, Councillor Smith?
Yeah, I just concur with everything that Rory said, and in addition to that, I'd like to say that council was part of the grand entry, and to have our First Nations involved in that, that was a very proud moment for me as a councillor. And I think it was a very proud moment for the community to be able to do something like that. To see all those red and white toques that they gave out, everybody wearing those red and white toques. It was just an amazing event. As Heather said, you can't buy that kind of publicity. And to city staff, couldn't have done it without the city staff. Heather, I know you were one of them, and Rory's already mentioned you, and Councillor Rayner, but there was several city staff that volunteered their time, and we definitely need to be thanking them for the work. And I just think it was a wonderful weekend for the community. I was happy to be part of that event.
Councilor Goss?
Beyond seconding those comments, that's about it.
Yeah, you know what, Roy, you put it very well. I mean, that was, very well put, especially with the goal. It was amazing. It was, and, to Councilor Dan and his team and Heather. Heather spent all weekend, day and night in here just trying to catch up on all the work done there last week and involved in all the stuff, and the rest of the team, thank you very much. It was amazing. One of the things is when you look down here, I mean, the weather was pretty nice too. Thanks, guys. I'm gonna give you credit for it this time. And when you looked out in that crowd and you looked at them people after the grand entry, you went, wow, like thousands. It was like a summer weekend. It was amazing. And the participation by, not only our residents, but people who come in from out of town too, from whatever one, was amazing. And when Lanny McDonald stood up there and said, "This is my 7th one, this one by far was the best." And apparently he said that in every event he was at, as he's saying. And the alumni, I mean, he's got a personality that never ends. It's just like his mustache, it just never stops. It's kind of thing. Awesome people, and it wouldn't have been possible if it wasn't for all the volunteers and all the people that put their time into that. But it was something to be proud of, and I think it'll go down as probably, I hope, the best one ever. It was not taking nothing away from any other community, but it was unbelievable. It was just phenomenal.
And Dave, if anybody has any extra toques, I've got a request from Halifax. A couple of people want a couple of toques, so if anybody's got a couple, I'll send them down.
I don't know how many they give away. We should check with Chris.
Thousands.
Thousands. Like there was, people were taking them for their kids, and it was like I don't know how many thousand, but I'll ask Chris. I'll find out how many thousand they gave away.
I have a request by an elderly couple that had planned on being here, but for health reasons couldn't make it. And they asked me if it would be possible to get a toque and a scarf for them. They're an elderly couple and they're from Kuwait.
I'll check with Chris to see if they've got any left.
They're not here now, but
No.
they're originally from Kuwait.
Absolutely amazing. Okay, if there was anything else, I can't remember it. so, resolution number 27.
I got it, I was just writing in the time. Moved by myself, seconded by Councilor Roussin, that pursuant to section 239 of the Municipal Act of 2001 as amended, authorization is hereby given for council to move into a closed session at 12:35 p.m. to discuss items pertaining to the following: personnel matter about an identifiable individual, 2 matters; labor relations, 1 matter; education and training members of council, 1 matter.
All in favor, council? Opposed, if any? Motion carried. Okay. Resolution number 28.
Resolution number 28, moved by myself, second by Councillor Rosen. Council reconvenes to open session at 2 p.m. 2:10. With no reports from its closed session.
All in favor?
Lots of discussion.
Opposed, if any? Motion is carried. And resolution number 29.
Motion, Your Honor, resolution number 29, moved by myself, seconded by Councilor McMillan, that this meeting is now declared closed at 2:10 p.m.
All in favor?
Now you can